Hey guys, what's going on? I'm your host Frank Smith and I would like to welcome here in sunny Manhattan at Kansas State University the greatest female athlete of 20th century. She got 6 Olympic medals with 3 golds. She's 4-time world champion and moreover, she's still world record holder in heptathlon, scoring 7,291 points. What is heptathlon about? It's a 100 meters hurdles, high jump, shot put, 200 dash. The next day, long jump, javelin throw, and 800 meters. She has spent thousands and thousands of hours in places like this one. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you Jackie Joyner-Kersee. Jackie, welcome in Manhattan. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
How was the lunch?
Oh, lunch was fantastic.
Wow, that's nice. I have to say that 14 days ago we celebrated fantastic anniversary. So I have one present from, let's say, from Czech Republic. It's about Czech Republic.
Oh.
It's all the pictures of our beautiful cities, mainly with Prague. So have you been to Prague?
No, I have not been to Prague, so maybe I can get a visit. Come there and visit. I'd love to.
You are always welcome.
Yes.
My first question is about success. You went through all the medals, triumphs, but even obstacles. So, what was your biggest success in your life?
You know, I would say my biggest success was being consistent, but then also having an opportunity to represent my country and 4 different Olympiads and going to Los Angeles. And then also winning a silver medal there, but then coming back after being injured 4 years later and winning double gold in Seoul. And then also going back-to-back golds in heptathlon, going to Barcelona, and then coming away with a bronze medal in '96 at the Atlanta Olympic Games.
Well, I was volunteer in the London Olympic Games. I was approved to go to Rio de Janeiro Olympic Games. You can compare. What was your top Olympics?
I would say my tough Olympics, probably whenever you injure, you know, you have to deal with the mental, the physical, and it was just, then sometime the climate, the weather, you know, '96, I wasn't able to finish the heptathlon because of injury, but it rained, you know, the rain started coming down. The multi-eventers, you know, we always get the best weather or the worst weather, or it just, and all of that's in between.
You mentioned the weather, that's right. I was reading your book, Time Over Grace, and I just couldn't believe one thing. In 1986, you went to Moscow for Goodwill Games behind the curtain, moreover, and you scored there 7,148. And a couple of days after, you flew via London to Houston,
Yes.
and you scored more 10 points. So how did you manage it?
You know what? That's one thing about the multi-events is that the '86 Goodwill Games was really, it propelled me into being one of the best in the multis because I didn't know if I could go over 7,000 points, but that was the goal. And I PR'd in the hurdles, ran 12:89, but then after those games, then a week or 2 weeks later, I went to the Olympic Festival. And I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, you know, because it was so hot in Houston, and my first race, the 100-meter hurdles, the track was so hot, it felt like a sponge. And I was like, oh, I'm off. But that's the great thing about the multi-events, because you can make it up in different events. And, you know, for me, my goal was always to have a 3,000 point second day. Now, and as long as I could execute a 7-meter jump in the heptathlon, then it was going to be possible. But Houston was really draining. It was tough. And even though I did it by 10 points, but after doing the Goodwill Games in Moscow, so I was surprised, but happy.
It's a long time ago, and I would like to ask you about competing in Getsis, because the Getsis is supposed to be like mecca of multi-events. How did you compete there?
You know what? That was the first time I had an opportunity to just compete with multi-eventers, both heptathletes and decathletes. And when I went there, I scored 6,900, which was really good. And I loved the track because it's very intimate, and the fans were right there, and they knew so much about the multi-events, and that's what made it really great. You know, I only competed there 1 year. I wish I would have had many more opportunities, but sometimes when you are good in hurdles and long jump, then you forgo doing the multi-events.
Yeah, that's true that people in our fencing games are really heavy users. Then they understand the discipline, all the
Yes.
disciplines.
Oh, yes.
And it's really nice, even though there is bad weather, which is sometimes because it's under autumn. But heavy users or fans.
Oh, they
can
right.
understand
They
you.
have a very appreciation. Not only the grown-ups, even the small kids. Because I went there and I was surprised a young person knew my marks, and I was like, wow, you know. But you know, that's one thing about I have an appreciation for the European fans. They really appreciate our sport. They really appreciate it, and it make a big difference.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to ask you about your college life because I write articles about Czech and Slovak student athletes who study here in the US colleges, and I admire that they all of them mentioned that the daily routine is very tough here, very let's say extended. You get up at 6 o'clock, you go to bed during the period at midnight. So what are these advantages of U.S. college life?
You know, the advantage of college life is that, you know, when you're on a campus, it's like a family, but you have to really balance your time. Time management is very important. Prioritizing and really sticking to your routine, you know, and sometimes you might get homesick, but that's where you find you know, the chemistry of the other people who are, even if you're on a sports team, they're like a family. And I think the best part of a young person leaving high school, going to college, those college years are the years that's going to set you up for the rest of your life. And the decision you make, you know, from your freshman to your senior year will really dictate the life you want to live. So to me, college life is crucial, and it's so much you can learn by learning to be organized and structured, because a lot of times this is the first time some young people are living on their own, you know, but the responsibility is definitely to you to get the job done.
So do you have still UCLA still in your heart?
Yes, you know, even though they're struggling in my sport, good God Almighty, but I love the Bruins and I wish them very well, but they got an uphill battle, you know. It's tough being growing in the sport of athletics, you know.
I have to say that Tiki was playing even basketball during his college life. Why did you decide to quit basketball?
You know what? I always knew I wanted to run track, and basketball got me a scholarship and opened many doors for me. But I felt that I really wanted to. I was a pentathlon champion when I was 13, 14 years of age, and a lot of people didn't even know about my track career. They just knew about my basketball career, but I wanted to make the Olympic team in basketball. I mean, in track and field.
Moreover, you had a really strong training group. We were together with Hildebrand and with Flo. So, do you think that this training group helped you with bigger and better results? Because comparing to spoke today about Thomas Dvorak, Roman Sabella, and other guys who were 8,000 points. They trained between 1998 to 2001 together,
Right.
and that was the time when they broke all the records.
Right. I think that it's crucial to have good training partners, and being able to train with a Valerie Briscoe Hooks, a Flojo, a Jeanette Bowden, an Alice Brown, you know, and when you figure that if I'm running hurdles with a Gail Devers, if I try to stay close to Gail, then when I go to the multi-events, then a multi-eventer should be beating me, you know. So, and then training with some of the top sprinters. You know, I was already a great long jumper, but then just mastering the technique of the high jump. So when you have that type of athletes around you, is that you all know there's no nonsense. You know, today you're gonna be running fast, or if you're doing the endurance work, then I'm gonna be on your heels trying to keep up with you, or I might be doing sprint work, then you're gonna be on me. So it makes a difference having a great team around you that can push you, and then also that can tell you when you slacking. You know, like, come on, you know, get with it. What's wrong with you? What's going on? Yeah.
That's what Alison Felix told when she was training alone. She wasn't so forced to the training, so she started to need training group. That's why Percy was training her.
Yeah, I think that because Bobby has always had a good group around, and Allison, you know, after she left her one coach, she came over, and she loved the fact because it was the chemistry of working with other girls, and then also some of the guys, you know, and it makes a difference, you know, and so, and Allison is just, I mean, she's a great one, you know, and with this world championship coming up this summer, I look for her to do some great things, you know.
Sure. Well, my last question is about marketing, sponsorship, because it's important part of athlete's life and more what I'm interested in. I managed one Czech decathlete before Rio Olympics. He placed 12th there, and do you think there is a big difference between top athletes in your time and athletes now in case of marketing and sponsorship?
You know what, I think that the difference, there is a difference now because of social media, and in some marketing you can do self-promotion, you know, people can find out a lot about you and you really haven't done anything. But I do feel that in our sport, you have to keep elevating the sport as well as the athletes, because without the sport, or you know, maybe the athletes think without them there would be no sport. You can always find someone to fill those slots, but you have to find a way to keep feeding our grassroots programs, which get fundings into there, but then also how do you promote the sport overall as well as the individual athletes.
Nice. Chicky, thank you a lot. It has been my pleasure, and you are always welcome here.
Yes.
And you are more welcome always in to Czech Republic.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
All right.
Nice dinner.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.